People are like, how do you get your makeup to stay on all day? Mineral sunscreen. So the one thing I always start my makeup with is a mineral sunscreen. It is going to leave a slight white cast, you guys, don't freak out. But that's actually what helps my oily skin take on the makeup better rather than it melting off. Other primers sometimes, they don't really do a good job of keeping the makeup on my skin. So I'll literally use this sunscreen as a makeup primer, and that's what I do. So I make sure that I take my time and apply it really well. But yeah, I love pretty much any mineral sunscreen as a makeup base. I think that's like one of my biggest secrets. People are like, how do you get your makeup to stay on all day? Mineral sunscreen. So after mineral sunscreen, it is time to color correct. And I use the Merit Minimalistic Perfecting Complexion Stick in the color Tiger Eye. I love this. It's the perfect color. I like to just apply it all over my face. I struggled a lot with hyperpigmentation this year. I usually have like acne scars that will just stay in my upper lip. So I like to use a complexion stick to just go over it. Sometimes if I'm not even doing the full shebang, I'll still just use a complexion stick. And I'll just let it stay on my face while I go on and move on to my brows. I find that leaving it to like stay on my face before blending it in helps with the staying powder and kind of like locks it in, makes it, I don't want to say it's like tacky, but yeah, it helps it just stay longer so that it helps cover up the hyperpigmentation. So I do my brows in part brow gel before I even apply the sunscreen, and then I'll outline my brows or midway through my color correction, and then you'll see later on I'll actually draw on and fill in my brows. So yeah, I will just take a concealer. Most of the time I've been using this e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the hydrating one, but for this video I use the Win Beauty by Serena Williams. Her concealer in the color Fulfill. I hope this comes back in 2026 because I really like the color. I really like the skin tint, so I really hope this comes back. But these two colors are really good for dark skin. They're like orangey but also still like a concealer. I hate when concealers are like too pasty white, but these are the perfect colors. So again, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Deep Cinnamon, love Deep Cinnamon, and then the Win Beauty's in the color Fulfill. Okay, so after I outline my brows, it's time to go back in with a warm beauty sponge. I just picked these up from Dollar Tree, but something next year I think I'm going to try to do. I'm going to switch a lot of my makeup tools to probably Real Techniques. I'm just ready to be like a little bit more established when it comes to my makeup game. Now we're going to go ahead and set that. So I like to use the Coty Airspun. I don't know if it's Coty or Coty, but I've been using this powder for years. This is my go-to powder. How again I keep the makeup on my face because I have very oily skin. So you guys are going to see that we're going to be setting, and setting that has never changed in my makeup routine. So I'll go in with the Airspun and just set the concealer on my brows, but also the complexion stick from the color correcting. And then now it is time for foundation. Okay, so this might be something I change up in 2026 too, but the Revlon Color Stay has been my girl. This is the one for combination oily skin. This year I did try a new color. I tried the color Espresso, and I love it. I really don't feel like I have a need to stray, but again, I'm trying to step up my makeup game, so we'll see. But I have loved this foundation. You guys know I love this foundation. Maybe not because you haven't seen a lot of my makeup videos from this year, but I really love this foundation. It's been tried and true. I've tried some other things this year, just, you know, on my own. We tried the skin tint, and I used a lot of the Halo Glow liquid filter. I used a lot of this year. It was cool. It's cool for when I use it. But yeah, I usually, if I'm going out and I need that go-to foundation, it's gonna be the Revlon Color Stay. Point blank period. I'm just a Revlon girl. And for that, I use the beauty sponge. You guys can see like it's brown all over. I use this pretty much my whole makeup routine. Another thing I think I might change for 2026 is using brushes more than just the beauty sponge, because I really love a beauty sponge. And then next we are going in, I can't remember if I set that, but if I set that, it is definitely with the Coty Airspun. And then we're going back in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer because it's time to conceal my face. I love this part, and especially when you have the right color, it just really like opens up your face and brightens it and just brings the whole look together. So the placement, I kind of just went back to my old ways. I've been trying to change the placement up with my concealer and do less, but I was just like, let me just do what I feel like doing in this video. So the placement, I could have used a little bit less and put the placement a little bit higher. I'm transitioning to this new makeup routine, because I feel like a lot of my makeup was stuck in 2016. So, you know, the 2020 we went like kind of minimalistic, and then 2025 was like really like sculpted, and it was hard. You guys will see when I get to the blush. But yeah, so as you saw, when I blend in my concealer, I always go to the parts where like I start here, because I don't want this to be too defined. I just want like a little bit. So I'll go from like the parts that I want less defined to the parts that I want most defined. So around here is where I want most defined, and then I'll just blend everything in. You guys can see. But yeah, so that is concealer, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and set it. This is something new I started doing this year thanks to the TikTok girls. We were using the Fit Me pressed powder. This is in the color 240, and use this to set the concealer, and then with the powder puff, and then we go in with the Coty Air Spun to set that. So that is like a little thing that we did. And then we also went in, I tried a liquid blush this year. I'm still going back to my go-to, but I did try a liquid blush this year just to bring out more pigmentation. Blush was like that girl, I feel like, in 2025. So I did liquid blush. I'm still working on my placement for it, so if you guys have tips or like any other videos, just send it my way. I try to go like right under my eye, but we're working on it, okay? So I'll start blending it out, and then I did have to switch cameras because I don't know why this camera decided to try and die on me. But yeah, so switch cameras. You guys can see me blending out the powder. I'm sorry, blending out the liquid blush. Sorry, this is the L'Oreal Lumi Liquid Blush, and it is in the color 635 Glowy Worth It Medium. Okay, so I liked that. And then another thing people have been doing is and I might have overdid this, you guys will see, I also put a little extra concealer and stuff on my lids. I typically don't do that. You guys will see later on, or you might see it now, that it started to crease. But I went back over with even more concealer when I feel like I should have just went back over with pressed powder to bring out the concealer back on top of the blush, just in case I like overdid it. So I'm like patting that in. Elf blush, always spicy. I love this. I don't even think they make this anymore. I'm obsessed. We're gonna have to switch cameras again, which is so annoying. Be right back. Always spicy for the blush. Something different I started to do this year was, if you guys are like an over consumer like me and you just have a bunch of stuff and you're like, hey, I want to finally start using stuff and getting rid of it, this is the perfect way to start getting rid of stuff. So I have this mattifying setting powder that I used to like back in the day, so I bought another one. I wish I did. Not that I don't like it, but it's like sometimes you just gotta let stuff go. Anyways, I bought another one. So I've been spraying all my makeup brushes when applying, and it's just been making such a difference. So that's definitely something I'm gonna be doing in 2026. But yeah, so I spray my makeup brush, and then that brings in more pigment for the blush, and it like really makes the blush pop. I've been trying so hard. I've been working all year to like get my blush to be better. So after that, I believe we go in and we contour, and I used the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation and concealer stick, and this is in the color 16 Ebony. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be done with this, you guys. There's so much, so like this is probably going to be staying with me in my 2026 routine, and I'm probably just going to need to like start contouring more if I'm going to get rid of it, because there's just no reason for me to buy bronzer or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so I went ahead with this. I use this as my bronzer, or I'm sorry, I use this as my contour stick to do my nose, my cheeks, and over here. And I like to just do a little bit. I think I can be a little bit bolder with the contouring and like bronzing next year. So I go ahead and I do that. And then I do my brows. So like I said, I like to use the brows pencil. I mentioned this in another video. So this is the part where I actually like outline my brows. And this is in the color Espresso, which isn't actually black. It's like a dark brown, like the color Espresso. But for the longest of all times, you guys, I've always gotten like a black or a soft black for my brows. And I really like this like brownish vibe. So I've been loving this brow pencil. It's so good. The staying power is really good as well. So I'm definitely taking this into 2026. And also, like, if I really like this brow pencil, it's probably gonna last me for a while, but I want to try like the L'Oreal or the Maybelline that I always buy in like a brown now too, since brows has introduced me to, you know, dark brown brows. But I think the more and more I use this, like, I might just be hooked on this. One of my favorites is I've been doing this mascara cocktail. It's nothing crazy. Like it's something people have been doing for years. It's just they're calling it a mascara cocktail. Or I could find 2 mascara. This is the Buxom Lash Mascara in the color Black is Black. I believe it has a different name. Maybe it's just Buxom. I used to be obsessed with this like in college, and I wanted this so badly, and I finally got my hands on it, and it's a really, really good separator. And then I used the Thrive Cosmetics mascara to go on top and add boldness, and it does a really good job. I mean, just for, this is like pretty much everyday makeup. If I'm gonna go out, I will, this is not everyday makeup. This is like not everyday makeup, but like if I was going to work, no, this is a little too much for like, this is like stepping out. But if I was like to really, really step out, I'd go ahead and add lashes, but I didn't do that. But yeah, I love the combination of these two. It is so, so good. And you guys will see the difference of me just applying one and then what happens when I go in and apply the Thrive Cosmetics. It just really sets it off. Okay, so after that, I think it's time for us to get into set with some pressed powder. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour one, and it is in the color 360, which I'm not sure what color 360 the name is. So I've been using this year, and then of course I'll be going in and spritzing it. I think I did it dry at first, and then I went back in with a little spritz to really like bring it all together. So yeah, after that we go in, and this is something that I love this year. I'm definitely picking up more of these in 2026. Juvia's Place, I have not been familiar with your game on the lippy, but that lip pencil is so good. It's like, so I like to go ahead and set my lips with powder before I apply, and then set my lips with powder after, and that really, really helps with the staying power. But even if I didn't do that, like the staying power is really good. It goes on really moisturizing. Like I don't remember a lip pencil that is that moisturizing. Granted, I usually use like NYX or like LA Girl, so bear with me, but it's super moisturizing and the staying power is crazy. And then I went in with this Juvia's Place, the Candy Shop Neapolitan lip gloss. When I first got this, it had like the little swirls and it was so cute. Now it's like really mixed in. And then we're gonna go ahead and set everything on my face, so I'll go ahead and set that. And then I was feeling real good today because I don't think I'm going anywhere, but I was like, okay, let me show you guys my new girl, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Party all night, stay all day. This is the truth. I tried one size a lot this year. I bought like 2. In the past year, I think I bought 3 one-size bottles. You guys will see when I do my empties. So yeah, I was like, okay, let's just try Charlotte Tilbury, see what she's talking about. If she's talking about, it's worth it. So yeah, I'll spray all this down, and then after that, I will go back in with the beauty sponge to pat all the spray in. Usually I have this little fan, but it died. I need to charge it. And then I'll go back in with the air spun powder and just powder my life away. And then I'll go in with my lip gloss and apply it to the top. So I hope I did not forget anything. If I did, of course, there will probably be a quick voiceover on it, but that is again my 2025 makeup routine. I feel like I switched up a few things, but I think I can do more things. I wish I wore more makeup this year. That's 1. 2, I wish I kind of went a little bit bolder on my looks, and I miss eyeshadow. I think I'm gonna go back to eyeshadow next year, even if it's just like soft everyday eyeshadows. Yeah, I have so many eyeshadow palettes, so like why not? Let's get glam. But that is it for my 2025 makeup routine. I'm curious if there's any products that interest you guys, or if there's some products you guys think I should try and swap out for my 2026 makeup routine. We'll see when that video comes. I feel like I need to probably upgrade quite a few things before, or maybe update some of my placements and like how I do my blush, or I'm gonna contour more. So you guys stay tuned for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I always appreciate any view from you guys. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.